Welcome to a new episode of the DJwivesLV podcast. Make sure you subscribe on the podcast platform of your choice. Don't miss any updates. Follow DJwivesLV on Instagram. And now, coming at you from Las Vegas, let's begin.
Hey everyone, today we welcome our very good friend, Brian, but to many he's known as BSTANG. He is definitely one successful and DJ entrepreneur and currently a resident DJ at Lucky Day at downtown Las Vegas and co-creator of the old school party Snapback to add a new party that it's here in Vegas called Late Checkout. We got a lot to say and a lot to hear from Brian. BSTANG, welcome to our podcast.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Glad you are. Sitting here next to your beautiful wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Long time no see.
Well, let's get this started.
Yes. So, BSTANG.
Yeah.
We know that you moved here in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Although you did live here before. We know that. But tell us about your experience establishing yourself here as a DJ.
So back in 2018 when we moved back here, I didn't have any gigs set up or anything. But I took a month off just to get the house situated. I just wanted to focus on getting the house ready and comfortable.
That's a luxury.
Yeah.
Not a lot of
So-
people have that time.
Yeah, luckily I was able to save some money up, and so I didn't really have to work right away. And then when I did start attempting to look for work, I just was networking, visiting DJs, visiting different bars and clubs that I thought I might be interested in working at. So I would go. I really love downtown, the vibe downtown, because it's more relaxed, and I know that they play more old school, and like no dress code or bottle service or anything like that. And then at this time, I think the casinos started charging for parking on the strip. So everybody was going to downtown because parking's cheaper. There's street parking. So I started visiting downtown. I had friends that were DJing like at Commonwealth, which I really love that spot. Really cool club or bar club. And so I would go if I wasn't working, like on a Saturday night. I would go there and visit my friend Ollie, DJ Verse. He would be DJing upstairs, and I would just be like a fly on the wall and just like pay attention to what he was playing and how the crowd would react, just to see if I could work that room if I ever had the chance. And so I did that for a couple months, and then luckily I think maybe either somebody called in sick or was out of town, and then Verse was asked his boss, which is now my boss, Mauricio, the marketing and music director, like, hey, can BSTANG fill in for so-and-so? He can open up. And he said, sure. Mauricio trusted Verse. And so I was like, okay, I just got to do well. But I had been going there almost every week, so I knew what worked and what didn't. So I got my chance. I did my guest set, and I think I did pretty good. And
You're so modest.
You did your homework, B.
And I think
comfortable in
that because right now I'm in the position of booking guest DJs like
good
4 nights a week, and
Hold up, we'll get
Okay,
there. We're
all right.
fast forwarding.
but yeah, so that's how I got my foot in the door. And the crazy thing is so I was doing guest spots here and there. And then, I still had some residencies in LA. So whenever,
So you're going back and forth.
Yeah, I was flying
'cause
back.
I was going to ask you, was it difficult to leave LA and your gigs there? But I guess you didn't fully.
Because so I was actually the music director at Lucky Strike in downtown LA. So I was booking the DJs there. So I continued to do it. I asked my boss, like, hey, I'm moving to Vegas, but I could still do the bookings. And he said, okay. So then I would position it wherever I wanted to DJ in LA. I would put myself on the calendar.
good.
And so that just kept me in the loop over there. So whenever if I didn't have anything going on here in Vegas, I would fly to LA, DJ, and then fly back the next day. And so, it was kind of cool to be able to go back and forth. But then finally, thank God, I got busy out here. So then I kind of had to stop going back to LA.
I feel like Snapback was probably one of the pivotal roles in getting you gigs or trying to get gigs out here in the beginning, because you were networking to get Snapback to Vegas.
That was probably one of the things that I missed, that I was gonna miss about leaving LA, was the Snapback party, because I was doing we were doing a party on Thursday nights in North Hollywood, and we loved that party because we could play all old school and throwback, and the people loved it. And
I heard they were really great parties. Sorry, I missed it.
Oh, that's okay.
I had babies.
You had some,
but yeah, I heard
care
those were
of.
really
It was fun. It was right in North Hollywood Arts District, and right in the middle of the dance community. So we had all these dance studios there. Britney Spears had her dance studio there.
It was Millennium.
Oh,
Yeah.
Millennium or Millennium.
I followed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so
Really good.
we lived in a was it a condo or apartment?
Apartment across.
It was a studio apartment across from Federal Bar, where we were throwing this party, and downstairs was like Quest Crew and some of the
They
other
live there.
dance
Oh,
crews. Yeah, and they were
really?
really friendly. Like,
Good.
you know, we'd walk by, we'd talk to them, say hi, and they would show up at Snapback, and they would do their dance circles, and it was cool
Fun.
just to be able to play for them, you know. So that was a really fun party, and we did that for we lived there for 3 years, from like 2015 to 18, and that was the sad part. It was like, oh, I'm not going to be there every Thursday anymore, right? So then I told my partners, like, hey, is it cool if I try to get Snapback Las Vegas going, so that I have something with, you know,
To take
for
with you.
Snapback. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what was cool was, once, you know, I was just doing guest spots here and there at Commonwealth. I wasn't really a resident yet, but I got the opportunity to pitch Snapback to the music director and marketing director, and it was so funny, because I had my iPad, I had this whole presentation, you know, slideshow, and it had pictures of the party, our bar numbers, you know, who we've had as guests in the past, and I was really
Very
just
professional.
prepared, you know,
Always.
for any questions that he might have. So I, you know, set up the meeting, I opened up my iPad. So, you know, we started this party 2013, you know, these are our numbers. Here's a few pictures of the party. Then he stops me. He goes, hey, you want to go see a venue across the street? I was like, is that it? Like, I didn't even get past page
You're like, wait,
one.
let me give you what I took time
Yeah.
in, and this awesome screenshot and this picture of like my numbers. But no, he wanted to go.
Yeah.
Probably like, yeah, Brian, I believe you. Let's go.
Yeah, it was like he trusted, I think it was probably Verse who vouched for me, and just, I guess maybe the fact that he saw that I had a presentation, he was like, no, it's cool. I you know, let's go check out this venue, and what do you think about this? And it was Park on Fremont, and so that's where we got started. And it was a cool little start, but then my main goal was to get into Commonwealth, and then so it just took a couple months, and
And then you did.
yeah, we got it.
So from that point to where you were saying now you are the one bringing in DJs, how
Yeah.
long was that?
Oh, right off the bat, like, he was really easy to work with. He was like, you know, give me a budget, how much you need to throw this party. So I was like, you know, okay, marketing, promotion, guest DJs, resident DJs, I want to pay out, you know, drink tickets, this and that. So I pitched it, and he was like, okay, done. Like, it was just like really easy. But then at that point, the pressure was on. It's like, oh, I got to deliver.
You still had to deliver,
I had
right?
to deliver. And but I, you know, a lot of DJs ask me, how do you get started in Vegas? Like, how do I get residencies?
Yeah.
And I always tell them, like, man, there's so many DJs in Las Vegas, and a lot of good DJs, and just so it's really about networking. It's about who you know and who would want to work with you.
Yeah.
So I always tell them, you know, you got to network. You got to visit the venues and just be there. Don't ask, oh, can I DJ here? I'm looking for.
Don't be
No.
selective, right? Just get in.
Just show up,
Yes.
like, just for support, you know.
Mhm.
You don't. They know. I was telling Raquel, I think it was this week. I was like, if people show up, like DJs show up at my gigs when they're off. I know that they want it to be a guest, but they don't ask me. They're just there. We drink, we talk, they watch the room. And I appreciate that because I know that they're putting the work in, like how I did. I visited and I saw what works and what doesn't. And then the other thing is out of sight, out of mind. So many DJs ask me for guest spots, but if I don't hear from them, then I'm like, oh, they're cool. They're good. I guess they're busy, whatever. And then, but I have this guy who shows up every week. I'm like, of course I'm going to give him the opportunity, because, he takes the time out of his schedule to, spend time.
Brian's going to be getting all these DJs.
I know. I get a lot.
Hanging out now.
Yeah. No, I get a lot. And it's tough sometimes juggling, like who to book when.
Yeah.
But I also try to help out friends who I know need the work, like have families or bills. And we all have bills, but families to support and,
But I get your concept that it's people who pay their dues.
Right.
Yeah.
Should
It's
be the
like,
ones.
just, I know
like
you're
an internship. You see them do their job and they're not getting paid, but they're willing to be there late hours and just kind of get the vibe. And you rather trust somebody that's been there,
who's making the investment,
sees the vibe of the crowd. So at least you're not going to look bad because these guys been here. You met with them. They know what the expectation of a club. So most people don't see that. And I'm glad you touched on like just the booking, the advertising, the who to pay, the drink tickets, all of that gets factored in a budget. I was like, wow. That's kind of, you don't see that detailed part of it behind the scenes, but appreciate you giving that little scope of what you do on a daily and still kind of keep a cool smile on your face. And but I do want to touch back on like, how did you get started DJing? Because it seems like you've done it for many years.
Oh, man.
I heard 2005?
That was like when I started full time. But I started as a kid, like we all have. I'm sure Hector started when he was 14. That's when I started. I'm not going to tell you the date, but it was for me. It was watching MTV and BET and seeing these rap groups with a DJ in the back.
Yes.
Like Run DMC, Jam Master Jay was standing in the back. LL Cool J had his DJ. UTFO had their DJ. I was like, man, I want to do that. That's cool. Like,
yes,
to manipulate the music and all that, and then just junior high school dances. I was super shy, so I wouldn't try to dance with any girls or anything.
He was voted most shy in his high school.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How ironic is that?
Me too.
Shut up.
That is
you
crazy.
I'm telling you.
Tanya,
No
I'll bring the
way.
yearbook. Yeah.
Yeah, in the yearbook.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Liars.
I think.
Well, look how
We gotta see the yearbooks.
us.
I know, right?
I think a lot of that had to do with my upbringing. So my dad was a military dad. He was very strict. And it was like, don't answer back to me. Don't question me.
Yes.
Just do what I tell you.
He's still
So-
like that.
Really?
My dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a little, he's older now, but I was like, I just kept my mouth shut
Yeah.
and question nobody and ask,
Right.
it was just like, oh.
Oh, you were a
Do
good
as you're
boy.
told.
Yeah, I was good.
You didn't rebel.
Rule follower for
Yeah,
sure.
I was. And I mean, I hung out with a lot of different people and they did some crazy stuff and I'd be there, but I'd be chill. I'd be in the car. Like, I was
just an
sometimes the
accomplice?
driver, like
Yeah.
they're going to go egg somebody's house. I'm like,
You're like-
no, I'll be in here. You
Yeah.
guys do your
Were you
thing.
the driver?
Yeah. Well, I was accomplice, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But I was never like, I never got into any trouble, didn't even ditch school, didn't do drugs or anything like that. So I think I made it pretty easy for my parents.
Yeah.
But
Was he, when you started DJing, was he aware that you were starting to look into like probably doing that like on the weekends, or was he okay with it? Because I know military dad. and
yeah.
what their expectations of you growing
Oh,
up
yeah.
to follow their footsteps, or someone
Yeah.
a successful career that they probably don't think DJ would be something.
Yeah.
They just think the party life.
Yeah, what
you
did
know?
he want you to be?
Yeah. An engineer
There you go.
or in the military like him. So he told me straight up, he goes, you have two choices. You could join the military or you can go to college, right? And I already knew I didn't want to join the military. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to college. but I didn't know what I wanted to major in, but I was still a DJ. So I majored in radio, television, and broadcasting,
Good.
hoping that maybe one day maybe I'll be on the radio or do something like that, right? I got my degree, my bachelor's in that, but I didn't really use it until I started streaming on Twitch. Seriously.
How
Yeah, because
Ironic.
you know, like in every career, like when I graduated, it was all about who you knew. So I had friends who worked at Disney, Disney Interactive, like, yo, give me your resume, right? It's not what I intended to do,
Right.
but it was a job.
Exactly.
And so they got me a job as a quality assurance, like a tester. I was testing video games, right? So it was a cool job, but I was like, okay, I need to work. So I took that job, and I ended up getting, you know, locked into there for a couple years, got a couple of promotions, you know, and then, you know, you can't help but follow the money, right?
Right.
Making good money. And then I probably was at Disney for like 5 or 6 years. And then some of my old coworkers moved over to Xerox doing quality assurance on printers. And then they were recruiting like, hey, B, you want to move over here? I can get you this much money.
Exactly.
And it was like more. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay. So I followed that
Yes.
path. And then I was doing QA work for Xerox. That was tough because it was far. We lived in the valley, and Xerox was located in El Segundo.
Yeah.
So it's all 405. I was on the road for 3 hours a
Oh
day.
my God.
1.5 hours there and 1.5 hours back. I was pissed, like sitting in traffic. I did that for 4 years until I told Raquel I can't do this anymore. And that was around 2005. I said, is it okay if I just try to become a full-time DJ, and if it doesn't work out, I can find another job? And she said, yeah, I trust you.
Oh, what a
know.
supportive wife.
So this is the mind of a wife, right? Taking care of the bills. I'm like, okay, I knew he had gigs already because he had gigs on the weekend, weddings and other things. So I already knew there was income. So I was like, you have to make sure you have X amount of money and we can make it.
Yes.
You know, so I just want to clarify that. It wasn't
Yes.
just like, yeah,
No, it wasn't like
go
right,
for
yeah,
it.
no,
It was like, it was a plan.
yes.
You know, like Brian and I sat down and was like, okay, we could do this.
Right.
You know?
Noted, Raquel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Just want the people to know.
Believe me, it's important. We can just be that supportive and be like, "Do you, babe?
There's
yeah,
there's
no, let's
background
not
stuff,
do you."
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
He goes,
but
I
didn't-
guess. He just remembers, I had a dream.
Yes,
We did
you're
it.
like,
I guess I didn't. But I mean, it was like a second job, but I didn't treat it like a job because it was fun.
yeah,
And I was doing a lot of weddings and private events on the weekends. So, you know, I think that's how I was able to save up some money, because I had my 9 to 5, which
Right.
paid pretty good. And then I had side money from the gigs. And so I was just tired of the traffic. I really didn't want to drive. And I didn't enjoy what I was doing. I would be sitting in meetings, like just daydreaming.
yeah.
What am I doing here? You know?
That's a sign.
Yeah. Yeah. And then,
And did you have that job until you moved here to Vegas? Or
no.
was there a point where you just said, I've had enough?
That was like 2005. I was like, I had enough. And I had a really cool boss, because they were doing layoffs around that time, but I didn't.
Don't incriminate yourself.
It's okay. He doesn't work there anymore. But anyways, they were doing layoffs. And I was kind of wishing like, oh, I hope I get laid off, right? Because you get
to make it
severance
easy, so-
Right.
and all that. But I didn't. I was like, damn.
She's like, good.
Really tired. So I had a meeting with my boss. I said, hey,
Can you lay me off? No, she's
yeah.
You're like,
I asked him.
Oh, really?
oh, really?
I said, you know,
forgot
this
about
is
that.
my plan. I want to become a full-time DJ, and, you know, would you be able to lay me
Add me
off?
to the list.
Yeah. And he just smiled. And he said, I could do that for you. You can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And he
Uh-oh.
Nice.
I'll do that for you. So he did that for me. And that was like probably the coolest thing he could have done to help me get started, because then I got paid for a couple months.
Yeah.
But I was a good employee, I think. And I don't know.
Don't worry. I don't think you're the first person that's
Yeah.
been given that opportunity.
Yeah.
But that's a cool story. So when you were doing Snapback, then you really, that was your full-time job.
Yeah,
Got it.
that
Okay.
and Lucky Strike and everything, man. All those gigs, like it is just all from referral, and just through friends who are DJing. Like, um, it's just so crazy how networking, how important it is. Like to go out and talk to people and meet people when you're not working. Because even now, like, so I work 4 nights a week right now, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I'm off Thursday. But I'm looking for a Thursday night
Yeah.
just to go straight,
Wow.
you know.
Like,
Did you
wow.
clear it with Raquel?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Raquel just gave me a look. So
Yeah. But it's funny because some of my DJ friends like, why would you want that? Why do you want to work Thursday? I was like, I just want it like a regular job, Wednesday through Sunday, 5 days straight, 2 days off. It feels weird for me to work on Wednesday night and then
He
have
has to
Thursday
be
off.
doing
Really?
Right.
something.
Yeah,
It's
because
just-
if I'm at home, you know, when Miles and Raquel fall asleep, I'm on my laptop working on music. Like,
Got
it's
it.
like I'm up late.
Yes.
So I'm looking for a Thursday and I'm visiting people just like I did before and seeing what the cool spots are.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so.
do you think you got your work ethic from your dad, your mom? Where'd it come from?
I just feel like I have cabin fever and I have to be out and about. Like I have to be
Really?
doing
cannot
something.
stay home. He's not a
Yeah.
gotta stay home. kind of
Well,
person.
How ironic for
Yes.
voted most shy.
yeah.
in high
Right?
school.
Maybe because I was bottled up all those years. Like,
Oh,
you know,
that's a good thing.
now
Makes sense.
I'm free to
Right.
do whatever I want,
Yes.
you know.
Isn't there a song? Free.
free.
Wherever I want. I'm just kidding. Here we go. So your dad eventually was okay? I mean, was he mad at you?
Oh.
Were you guys like,
You know, he would make comments, but I knew that he accepted it when, you know, he saw me even before we moved to Vegas. I was doing guest spots in Vegas, like just through networking. I was able to fly down for the weekend DJ and then go back. I remember him talking to his friends, and I was there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Brian's DJing in Vegas this weekend," and this he was talking about me DJing. I was like, "Okay," he finally accepts it,
oh, that's
you know. And now he's like, "Do you have a gig tonight? Do you have a gig
Oh.
tonight?" I'm like, yeah,
That's really sweet.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it took a you know,
It took 80 years, but we're good. We're good now.
right? Yeah.
Finally got there.
Yeah.
whatever time it took. It's all good.
Can I just tell you when one of the first times I met Brian's family, and at this point, I don't know, I think earrings were in. You know, guys had earrings,
Yeah.
and Brian's like, I can't show my dad my earring, and I was like, what? Why? And also his tattoos. Like he could not show it for the longest time.
Wow.
And I think his dad would have been fine, but Brian did not want to deal with it. So
Yes.
he would not show his tattoo to his dad. I think
No, he was.
well into your, well, I don't want to say the age, but
Adulthood.
adulthood. Yeah.
Well, Brian, going back, you used to work for a well-known photographer named Peggy
Yeah.
Sirota.
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet her?
Oh man, that was a crazy story. So when I started DJing in public, my friend offered me a gig at the Puma store in Santa Monica, 3rd Street.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, they don't pay money, but they'll give you clothes. I was like, that's fine. I just, you know, I'm down for the clothes. I just wanted to DJ. And so I was there every weekend, I think every Saturday. And I would DJ for like 4 hours. And then they would give me a pair of shoes, a sweatsuit, and a shirt, which Puma's expensive.
Wow.
So I was like, man, I had all this gear in my closet, like I wasn't even wearing. I would give some to my friends, give some as gifts, and but I was just loved DJing.
Yes.
And they set you up in front of the window, so everybody
Nice.
walking by could see you, everyone shopping can hear you. And so Peggy, she walks in, but I didn't know who she was, and this is a little short white lady, and she was wearing a beanie, and it was like tucked down. She was walking in, kind of bobbing her head. She was standing next to me. Then she starts shopping, and then before she leaves, she's like, you know, have you ever DJ'd a photo shoot before? I said, no, but, you know, I'd be down.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, okay, here's my card, you know, call or actually she said, do you have a card? I said, yeah, I gave it. And she goes, okay, I'll be in touch with you. I said, okay. And then I think like 2 weeks later, somebody called me. And honestly, like, because 3rd Street, there's just like a lot of different people walking around,
All the
a lot
time.
of homeless, whatever. And I was like, man, you know, I didn't, you know, I was nice. I'm nice to everybody. And she was just like, you know, like I was like, I don't know who she is, but okay. And then 2 weeks later, I get a phone call. You know, this is Peggy Sorota's assistant. She wants to know your rate. She wants to book you for 7 days for a photo shoot. I was like, okay. I said, let me talk to my booking agent. So then the gig is in like a week or two. And then I show up with my equipment and I start setting up. And it's funny because I didn't even Google Peggy yet. I still didn't know who she was. I just showed up. I just, you know, I was like, oh.
So you didn't even know who the photo shoot was for?
No, I didn't know anything about the shoot. I didn't do my research. They booked me. They gave me all the details. They emailed me everything. Looked legit. But when I got there, I started setting up and the video guy was sitting next to me, the guy who does all the video screens. And we started chatting and he goes, hey, did you charge them for renting your equipment? I go, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, you bring in your equipment, you could charge them a fee for rental because you can't use it tonight, right? Because it's going to be here. You're leaving it overnight. I was like, yeah, it's called like a kit charge. And I was like, no. He goes, you need to charge. So I was like, damn.
How do you go back and
Yeah,
negotiate, you know?
So I sent an email to the assistant that night. Said, hey, sorry, you know, I totally forgot about the equipment rental fee. You know, it'll just be like $200 a day. That's fine. Like, you know.
Okay,
They're all done again.
Yeah. But then the video guy was like, hey, do you even know who Peggy is? I was like, no. And he goes, Google her. He said, Google her. So I Google her and she's a fashion photographer. And I see all of the work. She's done like album covers for like Stevie Wonder, magazine covers for like Rihanna and like all these celebrities. Like, oh man. Then I got nervous. Like, oh,
yeah.
But you know, I started doing the gig. She luckily she liked me, and we became good friends. And she kept booking me.
Can you tell us who the gig was for?
I don't remember the first one, but
How do you not remember the first?
So the photo shoot was like for CoverGirl, right?
Yeah.
The magazine. Yeah. So I remember working for like Drew Barrymore. I think Rihanna was a CoverGirl. Even Queen Latifah. But so, you know, I think one of my favorite artists to work for was Drew Barrymore because she was so nice. And so I remember one day I was DJing on set and it's just loud. And my job is to keep the talent entertained so that they get the right shot. Oh, they look happy. They're dancing. Okay, play this kind of music. And she would be dancing and just, they're just shooting photos, but she's like posing and dancing. And then she goes, wait, stop everything. And I was like, oh. Shit. And then she's like, Peggy. And she goes, yeah. She goes, I don't want you to ever get rid of BSTANG. And I was like, oh my God.
Seems really nice.
God. She was just like vouching for me. And I was like, I thought I messed up. And so, I mean, that was a cool thing. And of course I had to sign a waiver. Like I couldn't take pictures or anything like that. So all I had were stories, right? To tell my friends. But
if it's not on Instagram, did it really happen?
Yeah, no. MySpace.
Well, did Drew contact you when she started her show? I mean,
I know. No.
You should have reminded her.
I know. But it's just like a lot of different things. I got to DJ for Desperate Housewives because they did a shoot. And then I remember Eva Longoria. She came up to me. She goes, I like it. Like you're playing old school. Can you play some Prince? And so I played Prince for her, and she was liking it. Another funny story was Rihanna, because she's like party mode, right?
Yeah.
Back then. And so I was playing, and then they're like, cut. But then I still kind of keep playing the music, right? And I'm just DJing, and then I hear everybody laughing. It's like, why is everyone laughing? I look, and Rihanna's in back of me, freaking me. Right? And I'm like,
You
no,
couldn't even
I
feel
couldn't
her
even
like
look at her.
presence
They
behind
couldn't
you.
even
Yeah.
look at her this time.
Like, I don't want to get in
shy. You're
trouble.
like,
yeah. But everyone was busting up, and she was real cool.
But that was a different photographer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was a different-
through that, somebody else was looking for a photographer. I think it was for Universal, and they said, "Oh, my friend BSTANG does." So this girl Janelle, she called me, and I started doing their shoots, and it was for like the Kardashians. It was E Entertainment. I was doing those photo shoots, and so I was DJing for the Kardashians, and then Kris Jenner liked me, and she goes, "Give me your card." And then,
Nice.
so I got to DJ her birthday party in Calabasas at their house. And that was cool, you know, because I got to meet everybody. And everybody was crazy like how they are on the show. Like,
was this
that's the
pre-Kanye,
real
though?
them.
Was this pre-Kanye?
No,
or
Kanye was there.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Oh.
So I remember DJing. It was outside. And Kanye was in the house. And Kris was like, I don't know if he's going to come out. And I was like, that's cool. And then she comes out. She's like, oh, Kanye's coming out. She's like, she tells me, play Paris. But she says the title. She's
Right.
play Paris. And I was like, okay. So I started playing it. And then I started doing like a mini Kanye set. All of, you know, his popular songs. And I just see his shadow. He's like bobbing his head. I was like, oh, man. I was telling my friend, look, you're dancing. So that was cool. And Kris really liked me, and after that, like 2 weeks after, I can't even remember their names. Courtney? No, not Courtney. Who's older?
It was Kendall.
No.
Is it Kendall?
Kendall's
Or
the young
No.
one.
Courtney's the oldest.
The
And then
Chloe.
Chloe.
Yeah, Chloe.
Her assistant called me. The twins. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, Malik.
Malika.
Yeah.
Her BFF.
It's like, hey, Chloe wants to book you for a party at their house. I go, what's the occasion? She just wants to have a party. And because, you know, they can't really go out in public and party because they
Right.
get followed and stuff. So I got to DJ that. And then this kid comes up to me. He goes, yo, you got any Tyga? And it was Tyga.
Oh,
That's
Like, yeah,
funny.
it was like super young. And I was like,
so
yeah.
actual artists want to hear their own music too.
Of
at a
course
party?
they do.
Some
Yeah,
do.
really?
some do
Like,
and some don't, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some do and some don't.
is that normal? I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
either they probably didn't like that song or are embarrassed, but it happened once.
Maybe there's songs in their album they're not like so in love with.
They were probably
Yeah.
embarrassed. So I don't know if you guys remember Tatiana Ali
Mhm.
from Fresh Prince. I was DJing a party in West Hollywood with my friend Eddie, and she shows up. She walks in, and Eddie's DJing. Eddie's like, oh, I'm going to play her song, Dreaming, right? So he started playing it, and she runs over there. She's laughing. She goes, turn it off right away. Turn it off or bust it up. Like, why? It's such a good song. No, I hate it.
Did
So,
she really?
Yeah.
How funny.
Such a good song. But
Aw.
that was probably a time of her life where, you know, she was probably, you know, but she was older, and she's probably like, I'm over that stage, you know.
Right.
Or maybe it brought back bad memories or whatever. But it was funny. She was laughing, but she was saying, shut it off.
Yeah,
shut
like
it
it's
off."
okay. You don't gotta play
Yeah,
my song.
yeah.
I'm okay.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
So with all these celebrities, like obviously one inquires like, is it really how they say? Like maybe do they have to pick you up? Are you only allowed to come in? You have to be here by a certain time. And it's like, does it get weird? Like, man, they're so strict and just the way, just because of who they are and just where you're going.
Yeah. So on any shoot, you had a call time, and I was always there like an hour before it because I didn't want to be late because of traffic. But the thing that sucked, like with these shoots, like especially the CoverGirl shoots, like I remember I'd be set up and ready to go. They said, okay, your call time's at 6. You're going to go on at 8. I'd be sitting there at 8. We're waiting for the talent. They're in their trailer.
Oh my God.
I don't know what they're doing. It's
I
9
can't
o'clock. Nothing. 10 o'clock. Okay, take a break.
Wow.
But I'm getting paid. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
getting
I mean,
paid,
yeah.
but
But still.
you're just waiting for talent all day. Like, they can do whatever they want.
Exactly.
Take their time, show up whenever.
You're there for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So now being in Vegas, like, you know, now with Miles and all that, your workflow is a little bit different. You know,
Yeah.
how do you balance? How do you guys still get to, you know, be an awesome couple and supporting of each other and still have the energy, you know, to do family time and still try to want to book an extra day just because you want that 8 to 5 or wannabe job?
Oh, it's easy. I just don't sleep.
So I always like to know with every DJ, there's always a downtime. What is your downtime? What do you like to do? What resets and what gives you like, all right, I got to do this week and what, anything?
I'm really happy to be back in the gym because I was going
yes.
regularly before my surgery, and then I had to wait 6 months after, so that was kind of a bummer. And then going back to church, that really relaxes me. Yeah, just like, you know, refresh before the week starts.
Good.
So I'm probably gonna go today at 6.
Good.
Usually
Make sure.
try to
Wait, the gym or church?
church and then the gym.
And then
Yes.
I go up.
Yeah.
Good
yeah,
for you.
Try to do both, but that I think that's like my hobby right now.
Yes.
And then I still stream on Twitch just once a week right now, every Wednesday,
Yes.
and it's for
sure.
fun. Yeah, that's for fun. And to talk to
Swimming?
everybody. Oh yeah, swimming.
Swimming.
I like swimming.
Good exercise too.
Yeah.
Except he has to take care of Miles.
He
And
never-
Yes.
yeah, he never wants to get out. We'll be in there for 4 hours, and he still doesn't want to get out.
There's a kid for you.
Yeah, but
So anybody coming into the realm of like DJing or wanting to like, you know, do this full time, what would be something that you would recommend to them?
practice,
Mm-hmm.
network, and stay humble. A lot of DJs, I can't say a lot, but some people forget about some of those aspects. Like, even if you blow up, you know, you got to be a pleasure to work with, you know?
Right.
Like Hector, for instance. We started our R&B brunch, and then I think we invited him as a guest, CO1, and, you know, and we just like working with him. He gets along with everybody, gets along with the staff. And I was like, I don't have to worry. If I'm not there, Hector will take care of it.
Right.
He knows everybody, he knows what to play. So just be a pleasure to work with, you know?
Yes.
Don't give anybody a hard time like, oh, I can't do that day. You have anything else?
Right.
Just cancel your other obligations. If you're like, I could do it, I'll do it.
If you want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question for B.
Yeah.
Like if you were a baseball player, what would your walk-up song be?
Oh man.
We'll play it at
So
Outward.
many songs. Probably. Do you have one that you think, because you always are probably around him listening to music?
I asked him.
Uh-huh.
I asked this question because I asked him what my walk-up song would be.
What did he say?
He was messing with me. Were you messing with me when you told me that was my walk-up song? Tell them what it was.
It would probably be mine too. Did I say Vanessa Carlton? 1,000 Miles.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Oh,
Okay.
you were serious.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think that would be a walk-up song. Mine
Yeah.
would probably be Justin Bieber, Baby.
Oh.
Because no matter, like,
Plays that song
always goes
all the
off in the
time.
club.
Really?
You play it, everybody gets,
Okay.
even the guys are singing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a feel-good song.
All right. Well, we know what Miles' song is because I love his song every time he's singing to Party by what? Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
Yes, that's my song. I'm here with Miles on that one.
Aw, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But it was such a pleasure to have you here and give us just the back end of stuff and your history and just like the awesome success that you've had thus far, and continue on with just like thriving and forgetting your haters. You still walk
thank
that, and we appreciate your time. We'd go to sleep or go to work and heal on any bad vibes. Next time, catch us on our next episode. We thank you, Brian BSTANG, and check him out. He's out everywhere in downtown Las Vegas doing his
tell
little
us.
thing.
Where's everyone going to find you?
I'm only at Lucky Day right now, but I'm there Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Good.
every night. So it's a fun vibe.
It is.
Tequila bar. We play Latin, hip hop, open format. So yeah, come visit.
And your Instagram?
Just DJbStang at gmail.com. Everything. Facebook, same address. I started a TikTok, but I only posted once. So, but yeah. Yeah, come by, hang out, have a drink.
Yes.
He'll buy you a drink.
Yeah.
I know he will.
And tell me
Yes.
a good, tell
No
me a
matter
good
how you
joke.
act.
Well,
Thanks for
thank you
being
so much, Brian,
Thank you, Brian.
our friend,
you.
and
Appreciate
BSTANG
it.
to many. So thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.